says nothing, I'll just come back up here.
I can hold up, but it's a hard time getting me down. I like to be lower. I sport is next to life what you can so it's hard to get the balance. Well, it works like a walk. Hold up. Then you get standing up to get down and I don't have the balance. So you gotta kind of crawl down. Yeah, here I only got it for one.
Good morning. We're going to get started here in a few minutes. And we're going to start the show with a Market Guild Class 1. Clover buds will be at the end, near the end of the show. So just a little change in our swine show today. So Market Guild Class number 1, you are on deck, and Class 3 is in the hole. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the 2021 Waseca County 4-H Swine Show. I want to introduce our judge today. He is Mr. Zach Post from Jackson, Minnesota, where he currently serves as the research manager for New Fashion Pork. Zach judged junior college and general livestock in Casper, Wyoming. He's also been a member of the 2014 SDSU General Livestock team and served as an assistant coach in 2015 for the SDSU General Livestock team. He raises hogs and Semitole show cattle on his farm in Lakefield, Minnesota, which is in Jackson County. Please give a warm welcome to Zach Post. 18.4 pounds. Matthew Verhoeven of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a gilt weighing 124.3 pounds. Aaron Merritt of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a gilt weighing 135.7 pounds. And Nathan Hager of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt weighing 158 pounds.
Kevin, the other set. Oh, I know.
Class 2 market gilt, you are in the hole. So bring your animals down to the landing area.
Look forward to working through these hogs and working with these young people today. I think we've got a nice class in our lightweight mark and gilt division out here. The young man's hog directly ahead of me is going to go ahead and win this one for me. Not only does that one have a shot more performance relative to the rest of the class, but when you study that one as an individual, I think she's got a lot of nice muscle shape. I think she's a gilt that balances up from the profile. I'm sure she's highly presented out here, and that helps out with her look and her balance. I think a nice complete one to go ahead and win. The gilt that comes in second, love her stoutness of feature. Stout skull, bold bladed one. Love how big she is in her forearm and her foot size. The gilt that's got a lot of muscle shape and expression. Maybe just reads a little bit harder today. When you study that in relation to our class winner, we like the stoutness she brings to the table. I think a similar thing could be said for the gilt that comes in next. Another little stout, thick, expressively muscle gilt. For me, she just gets a little bit tighter, more restricted on how she gets out about in the ring here. Just like to loosen and soften that one up a little bit. The gilt that comes next, certainly one that doesn't lack in terms of muscle. If you want to pick on that one, I think it's how she's put together, right behind her shoulder and in her hip loin there. Now, she's just not as smooth, not as attractive, but certainly one that's packed full of muscle. The gilt that rounds out not as overall powerful in terms of her muscle shape. We like the flexibility though and the length of body. Young man's doing a good job of getting that one shown out here. Congratulations.
I don't know what it looks like. What's black? Almost black. You got black?
Zach?
That's wrong.
In this market gilt class 2, we have Paige Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt that weighs 171 pounds. Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt that weighs 171.9 pounds. Cole Schleter of the Janesville Jackson Jills with a pig that weighs 172.1 pounds. Olivia Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt that weighs 173.1 pounds. Hadley Raker of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a gilt that weighs 173.9 pounds. Jacob Knudsen, Homegrown Explorers, with a pig that weighs 176.1 pounds. Paige Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt that weighs 177
she's the one that gives me the best look and design from the profile. I love how up-headed and tall-shouldered she is. Really level in her design. One that you really appreciate how fresh she is in her overall look. If you want to pick on her, she's maybe a little bit shorter, steeper out of her hip at times, and that's where I think the gilt that comes out second has the advantage. Plus the fact that she's just busted wide open, really a powerfully made one that has tons of power. For me, going away is where I get to pick on her. She gets a little bit too outside of her skeleton in terms of range of motion and how she uses her hip and rear leg. For me to go ahead and use her to win, but really a high quality one that has a lot to like about to run in second. The gilt that comes out in third, really one that's just kind of hard to pick a hole in. Maybe doesn't have some of the extras as those gilts that go ahead and win the drive, but one that's sound, she's functional, she's got a lot of product. You like the length of body, the performance, and the grow that one has. Like I said, just gives up some of the extras. The next two gilts that come out there are similar in their type and kind. Two gilts that are sound structured. I think they've got a lot of nice length of body and some flexibility when they get out here and drive around the ring. But with that, they just give up some overall power, mass, some stoutness of skeleton in relation to those hogs above them. The Young Man's Black Hog that comes out next is an interesting one. I think there's some pieces of that one that you really like and can grab a hold of. And if you want to move that one up higher, I wouldn't argue with you too much. For me, though, she gets a little bit closed up underneath. She's a little bit flatter overall thing, a little bit shorter out of her hip and how she uses her rear leg. But I still think there's a lot of things to like about that one. Young Man's got it presented very well out here. Good job bringing that one to the show ring. The gilt that rounds out the class was one that's just a little bit expressive in terms of muscle shape. We just like to soften that one up, though, give it a little bit easier feeding look.
Next is our market gilt class 3. We have Hadley Raker of the Waldorf Heavy Peppers with a 211.5 pound gilt. She is an addition to this class. Benjamin Hagen of the Waldorf Heavy Peppers with 187.9 gilt. George Ressler of the Waldorf Heavy Peppers with 194.8 pound gilt. Nicole Nelson of the Vista Busy Bees with a 216.8 pound gilt. Jacob Knudsen of the Homegrown Explorers with a 233.7 pound gilt. Jaden Johnson of the Clover Clan with a 240.8 pound gilt. After this class, we will do the Market Gilt State Fair lineup. We have one trip plus 2 for 50% of the Market Barrel gilt if they get filled, plus 2 for the 100% of the Market Barrel and gilt filled. So we'll worry about that. After this class, we'll have the Market Gilt State Fair lineup. can place Pig back into the staging area.
Get in some of these heavier weight gilts, and I think we've got a nice trio up top to sort through. I think all three of them are different, and if we could blend those three together, we'd have an awfully good one, because each one of them kind of does something extremely well. Young lady's blue hog is going to go ahead and win this drive. To me, that's the one that's the most attractive up through its front end. I think it's the taller fronted, taller shouldered gilt out here. It's a little level in her design. I like the muscle shape and expression that gilt has. I think she could be a nickel softer in her overall appearance, maybe be a little bit more flexible on how she handles her rear skeleton there. But one that I think combines that look and some stoutness and some shape after today. Young man's hog that comes in second, one of those that's hard to pick a hole in. I wish that gilt would just get out and drive and head another gear to get around the ring here. But you really like the design, and that one I think her angles are put together well. I think she's got some muscle shape, maybe just gives up some of the extras in terms of extension and height up front and overall muscle shape mass when you get right up on top of her. But really an attractive high quality gilt is coming in second. The gilt at third, I really appreciate the kind of livestock that one represents. Practical and functional. She's flexible, she's wide chested, she's big top, stout hip, gets out here, motors around the ring, maybe gives up some of the extras in terms of look and attractiveness up front. A little bit of a lower front end gilt that maybe just isn't as sleek up through her jawline in terms of freshness and shape when you get right up on top of her. We really like the type of kind that she represents. The gilt that comes in next got that muscle shape we're after when you study that groove down her top and how stout she is in her hip. For me, though, it comes at the sacrifice of some build. A gilt that's a little bit straighter, the angle to her shoulder, a little bit tighter in how she mobiles out of that rear hip and hind leg, but like the stoutness and the muscle shape. Gilt that comes in next, she is more flexible than that gilt right ahead of her, but one that for me just gives up a little bit too much power, a little bit too much muscle shape and performance and overall mass. Similar thing can kind of be said for the gilt that comes out next. Flexible, but just gives up some shape and expression. Love the length of body and how she gets out here and travels around the ring, though. Let's give all those exhibitors a round of applause, please.
Hadley. Raker of the Waldorf Peppers. Class 3 is Mikkel Dowson of the Vista Busy Bees.
Wallet, no. Oh, yeah.
I think we've got three guilds out here that represent their weight divisions, and obviously they're pretty different in their weight divisions and their maturity patterns as you study them out here. I think each one of these has some things to bring to the table to offer that got them the ability to win their class. I mean, when you study them out here as individuals, I'm always one that's going to side with the attractive, real sound built guilds, and I might give up a nickel shot of overall power to gain that added stability in terms of movement and how they get out and go bounce the ring and their overall look from the profile. I think there's one out here in my mind that hits me pretty hard from that category, having that extra shot of look and attractiveness and just able to float across the ring. Young man's guild from the middle division will be your champion. Congratulations.
If you are interested in taking your market guild to the state fair, please come to the staging area. We'll do state fair lineup for market guilds. We're getting ready to name our reserve champion market guild.
division, how it really place priority on how they get out and drive across the ring. And I think we've got one out here that still stays real square, that's real stout in her overall makeup and expressive in her shape. Young ladies Blue Hawk will be your reserve field. Congratulations.
Your 2021 Waseca County Swine Show Reserve Champion Market Guild is shown by Hadley Raker. Your champion 2021 Champion Market Guild at the Waseca County Fair is shown by Ethan Stringy. Congratulations. Please bring your guild to the show ring. then registered guilds, you're on tap. So it's commercial guilds followed by registered guilds. In this class, we are looking for 5 exhibits. Hadley Raker of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a gilt weighing 221 pounds. Hannah Summers of the Riverside Ramblers with a gilt weighing 224.3 pounds. Owen Schlake of the Riverside Ramblers with a gilt weighing 235 pounds. Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt weighing 239.7 pounds. Ralph Ressler of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a gilt weighing 279.9 pounds. Hagen, Barb Wrestler, Ashley Hagen, Sean.
I think easily the deepest class we've had out here today in our first class of the Breeding Guild Show. We've got two up top that I think have an awful lot of good in them. Each one of them kind of brings something different to the table like we've seen earlier today. The young man's belted guild for me for the show ring today, I think she's got some of those extras. And in terms of her front end attractiveness and stoutness of foot and bone, a gilt that's really got a lot of fresh shape into her, a lot of look, and she gets out here, mobiles around the ring, still stays extremely square from end to end. I think that's the one for me today in the show ring is going to go ahead and be our complete winner. Young man's gilt that comes in second, I think if you want to talk about generating value in the long-term sow, I think she's the one that hits you pretty hard. One that's long-bodied, she's big and functional, love her center body mass and dimension she has. She's a gilt that's got a big pin set on her, but still gets out here and stays pretty functional. The longer the drive wears on, I think she maybe gets a little bit lazy on how she handles those rear two, but one, you love the sow look that she has to offer, and I guess she maybe gives up some underlying quality to our class winner if you want to go down that road. But one that I think's got a tremendous future as a brood sow. The calico gilt that comes out in third, love her length of body and levelness. I think that one's plenty flexible. She just runs into a real stout, powerful top pair that just out-horses her in terms of overall mass and performance. The gilt that comes in next, like her muscle shape. I think she's a wide-chested, big hip type of gilt. Going away from me, I think that one just gets a little bit unsure on how she uses her rear skeleton. Gets a little bit bowed in her hock and a little swivel in how she handles her hip. But what do you like the power that she brings to the table? The gilt that comes in next, I think almost maybe a class advantage in terms of stoutness of bone work and foot size. I mean, she just doesn't match it with the rest of her skeleton. One that I wish was more pulled apart and her chest more into the ground and just had more center body mass and fill. But one from a breeding value standpoint, I think you could utilize her stoutness of bone.
Our 2021 Waseca County Fair Reserve Champion Commercial Breeding Gilt is shown by Ralph Wrestler of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers. And our 2021 Waseca County Fair Champion Commercial Breeding Gilt is shown by Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees. Congratulations. Up next is our registered gilt class, which will be followed by our market barrel class 1. In this class, we have 6 registered gilts. In the ring now is Mickle Nelson of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt weighing 186.9 pounds. Cole Schlieder of the Janesville Jackson Jills with a 209.9 pound gilt. Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees with a gilt weighing 217.5 pounds. Jaden Johnson of the Clover Clan with a gilt weighing 220.6 pounds. Cole Schleter has a second entry. He's with the Janesville Jackson Jills, and that gilt weighs 230.4 pounds. Hannah Summers of the Riverside Ramblers with a gilt that weighs 258.3 pounds.
Lots of different shapes and sizes and colors and breeds represented out here in this purebred gilt drive for champion purebred gilt. No man spotted gilt still walks away with it pretty easy in my mind. Not only does she combine the width and the mass I asked for in a breeding female, but puts it more importantly together in a good set of feet and legs and gets out here around the ring. Young man does a good job with that one. The gilt that comes in second, I'm going to use the Yorkshire female. I like her extension up front. I think she's a long, level body type of gilt. I think she still stays square in terms of true width and shape and dimension. Maybe doesn't just get out here and take a super long step off her rear tube, or as near as massive as some of the gilts that sit head over behind her. But I really like the design, the attractiveness, and the freshness that gilt has. I love the stoutness into her skull and her forearm. Nice breeding project for the young lady. The gilt that comes in second, I think, is an interesting one. First and foremost, I think she's really powerful. I commend that young exhibitor for getting that one presented very well in terms of skin and hair out here. But I'll also admit she's not my kind in terms of how she's put together. I think she's a little bit too powerful for me and doesn't quite handle it as well in terms of her joint work and how she mobiles around the ring. It sets down on a little bit of a smaller foot, but that young lady, I think, has got that one presented extremely well out here. The Berkshire gilt that comes in next, I think of the remaining Berkshire gilts, I think she's the one that's the most maternal in her look. When you study her rib cage and her volume and mass that she has to offer, really appreciate the brute outlook she has to offer. The gilt that comes out next, one that just gets a little bit too closed up and a little bit flat for me, and maybe just like to pull that one apart, give her some more muscle shape, like her flexibility, how she gets out here and goes around the ring. Gilt that comes in next, I think one from a breeding standpoint, you like her muscle shape that she has to offer. For me, I think it maybe lends to her looking a little bit more terminal in her type of kind, just like to soften that gilt up, give her a little bit more maternal look, but a very nice deep set of grading gilt. Let's give all those exhibitors a round of applause, please.
So we need Ethan Stringy's commercial gilt, and we need Ralph Wrestler's commercial gilt in the show ring for State Fair lineup and for naming the champion breeding gilt.
I don't know if
There's two bigger gilts out here driving for reserve, and like I talked about them within their classes, you know, both of them I think have a lot of good. They both look like maternal females that bring to the things I'm after in the breeding gilt in terms of feet and legs and structure and having a body and just being maternal is the best word I can put into it. I think there's one out here that's just got some of the extras in terms of its overall stoutness, but still staying square. I think this purebred gilt, I think in her respective division is awfully nice. Congratulations.
Your reserve champion breeding gilt and your champion breeding gilts are owned by Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees. Congratulations, Ethan. On deck, or in the show ring now, we're going to have market barrels, class 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want you all to be ready and pay attention so that you can enter the ring when your class is called. So, market barrel, class 1. We have 6 entries. Nathan Hager of the Vista Busy Bees with a 118-pound pig. Aiden Merritt of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a 131.8-pound pig. Benjamin Hagen of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a pig weighing 143.5 pounds. Aaron Merritt of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a pig weighing 144 pounds. Matthew Verovin of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a pig weighing 144.5 pounds. Olivia Johnson with the Vista Busy Bees with a barrel weighing 145.5 pounds. 1 and number 2 hog here in the show ring for State Fair lineup. And all others can leave the show ring. Up next in the show ring is our second class of market barrels. We have Paige Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees with a barrel weighing 169.1 pounds. Jacob Knudsen of the Homegrown Explorers with a pig weighing 176.9 pounds. Paige Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees with a barrel weighing 183.9 pounds. Owen Schlake of the Riverside Ramblers with a pig weighing 188.1 pounds. And Olivia Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees, her barrel weighs 197.4. Class 3 market barrels, you're on deck.
plenty athletic and mobile. The barrel's in good shape, better shape than I would be. But one that you maybe want to pick him when he just gets a little bit straighter in his rear pastern there. Guy that gets a little bit shorter out of his hip, but when you like his fresh shape and his feedability that guy has, really nice barrel to go ahead and go second. Hog that comes in third, probably got the class advantage in terms of overall center body mass and dimension. But with that, it maybe comes at the sacrifice of some balance. A barrel that gets a little bit weaker in his hip-loin junction there. Maybe just doesn't handle his rear wheels as comfortably as we'd like to see with that amount of mass that he has. Hog that comes in next, I think you label him as just practical. He's easy feeding in his type and kind. Doesn't have a huge hole in him, but maybe doesn't blow you away in one category. Maybe like to scout him up in terms of bone work. Maybe you see him lift a little bit more expressive shape down the top side of his skeleton. A nice easy feeding barrel. Hog that comes out, rounds out this class, I think has a class advantage in terms of length of body. But with that, he maybe doesn't match it with as much center body mass and depth of body and overall mass of muscle to go ahead and win, but certainly appreciate the length of body and the growth that that guy has to round off the class.
In Class 3 of the market barrels, we have Hannah Summers of the Riverside Ramblers at 205 pounds, Jaden Johnson of the Clover Clan at 206 pounds, Michael Nelson of the Vista Busy Bees with a barrel at 210.2 pounds, Olivia Johnson of the Vista Busy Bees with a barrel of 217 pounds, and Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees with a barrel of 217.4 pounds. We just have 5 entries in this Class 3 of the market barrel here at the Waseca County Swine Show.
Matt. Are you not listening to me?
All 4-Hers showing market livestock are eligible to participate in the Blue Ribbon Market Livestock Auction. In 4-H, youth design and lead their own learning opportunities guided by adults. This unique learning by doing youth development model teaches kids essential 21st century skills such as problem solving, communicating, coping, decision making, and responding to the needs of others. Your financial support of the 4-H auction makes it possible for the Blue Ribbon auction makes it possible to be a part of the educational process for 4-H livestock members. Proceeds from the auction help cover the cost of 75% goes back to the students, and 25% of the program fees will help 60 participants exhibiting at the state fair, the state horse show, and the state dog show. Over 50 project kits and 10 live Zoom sessions on a variety of topics include wildlife, agronomy, horticulture, butterflies, science, technology, engineering, and math, and more. The proceeds also help after-school programs and community outreach. They help with registration fees for project goals, judging team, engineering design challenge teams, and volunteer training. So thank you for your support of the Blue Ribbon Livestock Market Auction, which will
Speckled topped hog out here. He's just kind of in a league of his own in terms of true shape and overall stoutness. And a guy that still, I think, gives you some balance from the profile and quality. A really nice place to go ahead and start. From there, I think you can do some different things out here depending on where you lay your preference. For me, I think we've got a real practical, fault-free one to come in second. I love how wide-chested that guy is, how soft he is in his center body, really a flexible built hog. Just simply gets outpowered by our class winner to move up higher today. I think the next two hogs follow a similar suit in my mind. They're both hogs that are get out here and get around the ring, plenty functional and sound on their feet and legs. I think they've got some balance. For me, I think they just need a little bit more fresh shape, feeding right out of the back side of their shoulder. They're starting to rise up in their giant bone and get a nickel stale, but I think they're plenty practical, nice, easy feeding projects for these young individuals. Hog that rounds out, I honestly think that Barrow's better days are ahead of him. I like the stoutness of bone work he has. I think his skin and hair is well presented. For me, he's just a little bit raw and a little bit hard in terms of his muscle and body shape, just like to soften him up. And I think with time, he'll grow into himself, make a real nice project.
Now entering the show ring is our final market barrel class, class 4. In this class we have George Restler of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with his barrel weighing 236.3 pounds. Jaden Johnson of the Clover Clan with a barrel weighing 242 pounds, 0.2 pounds. There we go. Owen Schlake of the Riverside Ramblers with a barrel weighing 242.9 pounds. Jacob Knudsen of the Homegrown Explorers with a barrel weighing 245.2 pounds, and Ralph Ressler of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers with a barrel weighing 248.4 pounds. If you received a first or second place in class 1, 2, or 3, please. Okay, 1 and 2, class 1 and 2, first and second place, please come to the staging area.
That's not knowledge.
purebred barrows out here, but we're running them all together in this class. I think we've got a really nice one to go ahead and win. To me, here's one of the best built hogs in the drive. Young man does a great job of driving that one with his head up. And I think that's where he holds the true advantage over that second place barrow. Is he's more up-headed and leveler designed down his top line out of his hip, maintains a looser spine. I love his squareness from the ground up. The guy surprises me in terms of the chest floor that he has to offer. A really nice barrow to go ahead and win. The trade-off comes with terms of muscle shape up high with that barrow in second. He's one that feeds ultra expressive out of the backside of his blade. Or we can pick on him. I think he gets a little bit lower fronted. Barrow doesn't ever actually get his head coming out of the top side of his blade. He gets a little bit tighter in his spine, a little bit steeper, tighter out of his hip. That's being really critical on a barrow that I think offers a lot of good. The young man's done a nice job with that one. A hog that comes in third, a big, practical, productive type of barrow. I love the center body mass and dimension he has. He just gives up some of the extras in terms of stoutness of bone work or design up front, muscle shape when you get right up on top of him. A really nice, practical, functional hog that comes in third, runs into a tough top pair. Hog that comes out next in this class, I think one that you like the muscle shape that guy has to offer. Maybe gives up some look and some balance up front, lower fronted hog that maybe is a little bit rounder out of his hip. He likes to see overall durability that that guy has to offer. Now, the Berkshire appearing barrow, I think, would represent his breed well in terms of the overall mass and dimension that guy has. But when you run him out here with some of these others, he just gets outforced in terms of muscle shape and expression, cutability, and stoutness of bone. But I think a barrow that represents, I think, is certainly his division, if I were to speculate, really well. Congratulations to that young lady for bringing him out here today.
champion market barrel and reserve champion market barrel. So the first and second place pigs in each class should be entering the show ring. And maybe we'll pull the first place ones out first. And we're going to have a change to these showmanship. We're going to do seniors first, intermediates, grade 6 through 8 second, and juniors grade 3 to 5 third, followed by the Clover Bud Show. The Class 1 winner is Ben Hagan. The Class 2 winner is Olivia Johnson. The Class 3 winner is Ethan Stringy. And the Class 4 winner is George Ressler. We'd now like the champion and reserve champion market guilds to head to the staging area, along with the champion and reserve champion breeding guilds to the market area, to the staging area.
No, I just had a fiber part.
Let's give all these exhibitors a round of applause for making it to the final drawing for the Bear Division, please. Certainly you can tell some of these hogs have had quite a bit of time put into them in terms of presentation and how they're getting out here and working for these young exhibitors, and I commend them for that. When at the end of the day, when we get out here and sort through our 4 class winners, I think there's one that, like I said, within class is just in a league of his own, and a man-child in terms of overall muscle mass and dimension, and still moves plenty acceptable for me. Young man, let a champion bear, congratulations. I'll bring that second class out here, and I think he's an ultra-practical barrel, but maybe doesn't blow you away in one category. And I talked about a hog out here that really loved the build, the design, and for Chester, I think he's even better. This barrel right here, I think he's got a lot of good in him. He'll be reserved. Congratulations.
Okay, so now we're going to name the overall champion of the swine show. So we need the market gilt champion from Ethan Stringy and the reserve champion market gilt Hadley Raker, and the champion breeding gilt Ethan Stringy reserve champion with Ralph Wrestler, and then Ethan with your registered guild, and Jaden Johnson with your registered guild. Your 2021 Reserve Champion Market Barrel is shown and owned by George Wrestler of the Waldorf Heavy Peppers. And your 2021 Waseca County Swine Champion Market Barrel is shown by Even Stringy.
As we study our division winners out here, I think this is kind of, if you're ringside, this is what they should strive to put hogs together in this caliber. I think they're presented extremely well in terms of skin and hair, and they're driving out here, been worked with at home and well broken. I think these hogs have quality when you talk about how they're put together in terms of their skeletal build and angles and the amount of width and muscle mass that they put together. I think all of them are extremely high quality, all four of these livestock out here. And to me, I can't mess up in my mind. I just got to go pick the one that's the favorite of mine, because they're all well deserving of winning their respective divisions. I think they're all tremendously good. I'll go out and select the one that's my favorite today. Let's give them all a round of applause, please.
Yeah, that's right. Give them a good overall go. That's right. Give them a good overall go.
Okay, now we need if you're not already out in the showroom, we need the first, second, and third in each of the classes. So Hadley's out here already. In the Market Guild Class 1, if you're state fair eligible, that would be Nathan Hager, Matthew Verhoeven, and and Matthew Verhoeven. You have 1, 2, and 3 in Market Guild Class 1. Only bring the pig that you want to take to, you only need 1. Yes. Okay. Please bring your, if you have more than 1 animal shown today, please bring the top animal in that class. So in Market Guild Class 2, that would be Hadley Raker and Paige Johnson, number 3. In Market Guild Class 3, I'm just going to, yep, State Fair lineup. Okay. Michael Nelson and Jada Johnson.
I always look at it over
If you are State Fair eligible and would like to show your, pick your top animal, Market Guild or Market Barrel. So Olivia Johnson, Paige Johnson, Ben Hagan, Matthew Verhoeven. Bring your top swine into the show ring for State Fair lineup. As well as Cole Schleter, Ethan Stringy, George Wrestler, and Ralph Wrestler. If you're planning on participating in the State Fair, please bring your top animals to the show ring for State Fair lineup. Ralph Wrestler, George Wrestler, Ethan Stringy, Cole Schleter, Matthew Verhoeven, Ben Hagan, Paige Johnson, and Olivia Johnson. If you're in the holding area, please bring your pig out into the show ring.
Yeah, I got some from Jack. Not from Jack.
No. She was your age.
We want to remind everybody that you can dine in air-conditioned comfort in the 4-H food stand, compliments of Connors Plumbing and Heating. They've got great food in there, hamburgers, cheeseburgers, pulled pork sandwiches, chef salad, potato salad, watermelon slices, and french fries, of course, plus a great lineup of beverages. They do have coffee and apple and blueberry pie along with chocolate chips. We invite you to join us in dining in the 4-H show stick. So as part of the animal project and the swine project here at the Waseca County Fair, these young 4-H'ers are required to complete a swine interview, which happened at an earlier date. Your champion, let's do this. Your reserve champion senior interview winner is Cole Schleter of the Janesville Jackson Jills. Congratulations, Cole. And your champion senior interview is Ethan Stringy of the Vista Busy Bees. Congratulations. On the swine rate of gain, your reserve champion rate of gain is Paige Johnson, and your champion swine rate of gain is Olivia Johnson. Congratulations. If you received a champion or reserve champion, there is going to be a photo session this afternoon at 3:30. If you cannot make that work, please make sure that you take a picture of you, your ribbon, and your animal before you leave today. And then email that to Rachel, the 4-H summer assistant. I want to thank Airwave Solutions, LLC, for providing live stream coverage of our Waseca County 4-H livestock shows. The live streams will be broadcast on the Waseca County 4-H YouTube channel. So most of us are handy at the Google, so it's Waseca County 4-H YouTube. Lineup for today is the dairy show will start at 1 o'clock. Rise Up will be the arts and performance at 6:30 p.m. tonight, followed by the 4-H fashion review at 7 p.m.
competition is as well, no pun intended. Go ahead and relax, senior showman out here. I think you youngsters ringside or even family members or people that have helped these these individuals. I think you can listen up and take notes on this group out here. I think there's a lot of good showmen out here, even though we don't have a ton of numbers. And personally, for me, some things that I'm looking for is first and foremost that you have control of your animal and you're giving the judge the best looks. Because at the end of the day, when you're out here showing in the show ring, that's what your goal is, to try to present your animal to the best of your ability. And then it comes back to you and how you present that animal. And I like to see a showman that just seems calm and relaxed. And like this is just another day at the park for them. You know, they've done this 100 times at home. And their animal knows how to respond, they know how to respond to their animal. And so that's what it's all about for me, is just control from that showman and that animal, and that it looks comfortable. And you know, I think it always gives you extra bonus points when you've got one highly presented. You can tell you put a bunch of time and effort into skin and hair. And I think we've got that example out here in all of these hogs. I think they do an exceptional job, and these young people do a good job of showing them. And for me, I think there's just a couple that take it to the next level in terms of just being comfortable out here as they're getting about the show ring. So for you youngsters, that's kind of what I'm looking for out here. And I encourage all of you young people, maybe approach some of these older exhibitors. I think they seem approach-worthy people that know what they do and they put in some time and effort. And I encourage you older exhibitors out here, go find one of those youngsters after the show, or maybe even before they go in the ring here, and kind of give them some pointers maybe you picked up around the ring, and some things to do, you know, about proper distance, or being relaxed, or working the ankles, and paying attention to where the judge is at, and give back to something that hopefully you guys have gotten a lot from. So with that being said, I'll go select the two that suited me best today out here for Team Reserve Showman. I think it was a tough, hard-fought race, and congratulations to all 5 of you. exhibitors to get back on think it is tough out here. I think each one of these exhibitors does some things so well. They go ahead and set them apart. I think we have some areas to work on with each of them as well, which is expected. We always want to keep striving and to do better and be better showmen. So never give up on trying to improve. For me, I think there's one out here that's sorted up not only in terms of having control, but in terms of how they answer the questions. I thought they did a really good job in the content to their answer. And so I'm going to go ahead and pick my winner reserve. For me out here today, personally came down to my preference on how they've gotten their livestock shown. Let's give all the exhibitors a round of applause, please. that we get some smiles. And kids, go ahead and when you get out of the ring, go ahead and thank your parents and the people that helped you, because one day you'll realize how valuable this day is and how much fun it is to get out here and have the opportunity to do this, because not many get to go ahead and do this throughout the year, work for something during the summer that you guys have put into time and effort to in your projects. So I commend all of you for doing that. When we get back to talking about the showing pigs out here, we've got to go ahead and pick a champion in reserve. For reserve, I think it gets to be pretty close. I think there's one that goes ahead and swords up in terms of control and maintaining that appropriate distance between keeping the hog between the judge and everything, and keeping that distance so you're not right up on their feet or way back in the corner. I think the individual that does that goes ahead and does a good job and gets reserved for me. And then for champion, I think really honestly it's an easy decision. I think this person could go ahead and move up a couple divisions and be completely fine. Really impressed with the quality of showmanship that they have to offer, the control they have, both their livestock, and they just seem comfortable out here and doing it and hopefully having fun. So I'll go select your champion in reserve. Again, let's give all these guys a round of applause before they exit the ring.
In the show ring, we have August Ressler of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers, Henrik Ressler of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers, Abby Summers of the Riverside Ramblers, Kendall Johnson of the Clover Clan, Caleb Knudsen of the Home North Explorers, and Presley Rager of the Waldorf Peppy Peppers.
again, I think it's great to see this many young people out here. We don't just have one or two out here showing in the Clover Bud division. So hopefully that means good things for a strong